Hello everyone, thank you so much for watching my video. My name is Noemi Flores, and in this video I would like to introduce you to Atlassian Intelligence in Confluence. And I just want to give you a couple of ways that you can use it in Confluence if you've never used it, and give you an intro if you've never used it or don't even know what it is. So let's get started. So here I am in Confluence, and there are a couple things. Atlassian Intelligence is available on the premium plan for Confluence. It's also available on premium versions of Jira. And what it is I consider it kind of like the base AI tooling for Atlassian. So if you don't know where to start, maybe you've been hearing about Rovo and you're not sure and you don't really get it, start with Atlassian Intelligence, because this is really infused into the products, and I can promise you putting this on to your product suite will immediately just feel natural. It will just be a built-in thing that just makes things a little bit better, like it should have always been there. You know what I mean? So let's take a look. So when we here in Confluence, I like to use this to, number one, help me write my text better, and number two, help me find things searching, and number three, I like to use it for brainstorming. So let me show you. Right here, I'm going to show you something that I do, because I don't know about you, but I get requests to provide feedback for people. And oftentimes there's a time limit on when I have to provide this feedback, and I get multiple requests for the feedback. And so I want to make sure that I put my best foot forward and give them the best feedback I possibly can, because they showed up for me and I really want to show up for them. This is where Atlassian Intelligence comes in, because when I have a lot of these to do, I sometimes get a little bit overwhelmed and I feel a struggle to write what I want to be able to say in an eloquent way. And so this is what I just started doing. Let me show you. I'm going to just write a blurb of text. So I'm going to say, John is a great teammate. He came through the last minute on Project B and saved the day. I'm glad to work with him. This is probably not something you would ever write in somebody's feedback, because there's not much there. It's not written very well. It's not very specific. It's not the best, right? But I just want to show you the functionality. Once I have text on my page, I can actually highlight it. And when I do, I get this like menu that pops up at the top. Now I could come in here and I can click Improve Writing, and this is going to kick off Atlassian Intelligence, and it's going to rewrite this sentence, and it's going to make it a lot nicer. John is an exceptional teammate who truly shines under pressure. He stepped up at the last minute on Project B, effectively saving the day. I'm grateful to have the opportunity to work alongside him. That is a much better version of what I wrote. And so here I have the option to either replace the text that I wrote, insert it below, meaning it's going to put this sentence right underneath my original sentence, and then I can play around with them if I want to. I could discard it, start all over. I can also ask it to do something else, right? So I can also say, add some content about John being good at managing multiple deadlines and working with executives. Okay, so I'm going to add this. I'm going to fix my spelling, hit go, and it's going to go ahead and add more content. So it took his original content, refined it a little bit more, and then it added the additional information that I wanted. And so from here, like I said, you can do all of these items here, or what I was doing is I was taking this content and pasting it into another tool and then submitting my feedback. So this is a really nice trick if you do have feedback or something like this. If not, and you're just working on making your pages a little bit better, this works perfectly fine working with any page with regular content too. Other thing I want to call out is the thumbs up and the thumbs down. This is fantastic to use. This is going to be one way you can help make the AI better and help make the whatever it produces even better. Just so you know, whenever we train our AI or give it feedback back using things like thumbs up or thumbs down, all of that information really stays within our environment. It's not going back to Atlassian servers and being, your data is not going anywhere. So for those who are worried about the security implications, just know that your data is always private. It always remains in your system. And all of the feedback we give back to the AI is internal. So there's no worries about, your data being shared across multiple server platforms outside of your network. So with that, I'm just going to go ahead and hit replace here, just put that in. The other thing that I really like to do with intelligence is it can write text really well, right? I just showed you that. If I click the right here in the corner, I have some different options than I did when I highlighted it. So let's click on right. And now you can see all of these different things that are down here. And I can tell you something, I have been watching, I swear, Atlassian, they have got robots working in the background because they are constantly pushing out new changes, new improvements, and adding more and more to this. I mean, when I first started using Atlassian Intelligence, there was like summarize, improve, fix, and change tone. That was it. Now we've got all of these other things that make this even more useful to us and easier to use. But if you look at the top, we have a lot of things that are focused on writing, right? This is standard. All AIs are good at writing, and this is expected. I expect to have a lot of good writing features in here. So this right here is really cool, but not super, out of the box thinking. But some things down here, now these are really cool. So this suggest a title, right? This actually, so if I were going to keep this page, I could say suggest a title, and I can be like, oh, okay, team member performance review, cool. This might be an okay title to name the page. That's actually very helpful. It makes it more contextual because sometimes we think something makes sense because we know the content, but nobody else gets it, or only people who know the content get it. So it is really nice to use this to kind of bounce ideas with the AI to write the most effective titles as you can. Let me go back. I'm just going to discard this. I'm going to click the right function again. And translate. I'm going to skip brainstorm for now. I'm going to just show you translate really quick because this is also a very cool tool. For those of you guys who are maybe in marketing or you have to create content across multiple languages, this right here is fantastic. So I'm going to just translate this into German. It will actually then copy this text for me, and I can reuse this content for whatever mediums I need it to go to. Now, obviously, if you have people who are native speakers, you're going to want to have them review it. I wouldn't just take it, as is, but this is a fantastic way to kind of quickly translate something into multiple languages very fast. In fact, when you combine this with workflows and automation, you're even more golden. But if you're doing it manually, this is a fantastic way to do this kind of in a one-off manual situation. Now, the last thing that I want to show you is the option. Let's click here again. The option to brainstorm. Now, this right here I think is very cool out of box thinking because it allows you, instead of having to have content, this allows you to figure out what content you even want to create. So I'm going to click on brainstorm really quick, and I'm going to say create a training program for beginning pair computing engineers. So now that I do that, it is actually going to give me some good bullet points on topics that I would want to use for this particular training program. Now, if you've ever done what are they called, bubble maps in school, this is exactly like that. In school, you used to create, when you were writing a piece of paper, like you're writing a report, you would create a list of topics, and each topic would be in a big bubble. Then from there, you would break that big bubble into smaller topics, and that's what your sentences and paragraphs are comprised of. I think of this as being the same way. Here I have my big bubble content topics, And I can use this as the beginning steps to create my entire page or pages. I can continue to work in here, right? And I can say, you know, create more topics around. All right. And so now I do this and I can actually break down those bigger topics into smaller topics. And this is a really great way to just get something started, especially like maybe you're a knowledge manager, right? And you have to create a lot of skills frameworks, or you have other things that you got to create, but you want to get a lot of it drafted. This is a fantastic way to get those initial drafts and those outlines created. Then you can go back or work with other knowledge managers to fill in all of the detailed content. And again, you can use AI to help you refine that content as you write it. So I encourage you, if you are using Atlassian Intelligence, to use this to start drafting up your ideas. No need to like worry about, having all the thoughts in your head right at the very beginning. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to show you before we hop off today is the search feature. So as I search, I am actually going to say, please find all one on one pages with Jane Weigel. All right, so now when I search, it's going to come up with a bunch of search results here in Confluence, and I don't have Jira Premium installed. If I had Jira Premium and I had any Page or one-on-one or Jane Weigel, those things would also show up in my results. But right now I'm only seeing my Confluence results. But here I can see, oh, this one-on-one with Jane is exactly what I was looking for. And I can continue to refine it, right? See, if I ask AI, I can continue to refine this and click the Ask AI button and come up with different results. Now, when you are doing search, this can be something that's very exciting and very disappointing at the same time, right? Because sometimes you'll type, if I were to just type Jane Weigel, I might find my page, which I did. That's because I don't have very many pages and I wrote it, and so it's going to come up. But had I not written it and I didn't have Jane's name in there, it might not have come up. So it's always good when you are using this feature and the searching, you want to make good searches. Give it instructions that are clear and detailed and to the point. Get rid of excessive words. If you need to break things down, do one search and then refine it, using this Ask AI feature. Use the filters down here to help refine your search. And also, the other thing is metadata. Metadata is so helpful, and there's a reason why we have it, right? If I were to have labeled this one-on-one page with a tag called one-on-one, now I could have searched for, give me all the pages tagged one-on-one for Jane Weigel. That would have been a much better search and probably yielded me much better results than just randomly typing in search words. So always remember that in some cases it's going to literally look up the words that you want, just like Google, just like everything else. So give it clear instructions, take your time, and start modifying your pages so that they are better represented in the system. If you are not labeling, start adding labels to your pages. That will be so helpful. There's macros that will help you use those labels in other ways, and you could really extend the breadth of your content and the reach of your content just by adding in labels and keeping your pages clean and up to date. All right, so I'll get off my soapbox now. I hope you enjoyed this demo of Atlassian AI in Confluence, and let me know. Do you have things that you're trying to solve? Do you need help solving any problems? Shoot me a message and let's see if we can't work together to, get your problems resolved. With that, have a wonderful day.